So, of course, well, if you wrote it, you'll know, won't you? Yes. But the winning place, first prize, goes to a foreign country. In a foreign country, Guy Foskin is a successful human rights lawyer. Successful because, thinks his old friend Kevin, he sold his soul. Now, I liked a foreign country for a number of reasons. The skillfully handled exposition, the dialogue being distinct to each character, but mostly because here we have the whole history of these characters very skillfully presented. We learn about their past and their relationship almost without us noticing. This is never at the expense of the plot. Indeed, it feels part of the plot rather than exposition for exposition's sake. Again, the characters have very clear voices, and there's also a hint of menace at the end, which tells us the story isn't completely over when the curtain falls. So Jonathan and I are going to read this. So, Ros, may I sit? Here you are.
Kevin Roach, as I live and breathe, what the hell are you doing here?
Good to see you too, Guy.
No. It's great to see you too. Of course it is. It's unexpected. I suppose you're covering the trial.
Kind of. I phoned your house and Rosemary told me you were here.
And you came all the way to The Hague. I'm flattered. But it's great to see you, it really is. Come and sit down. I'm not in court for half an hour. My God, you haven't changed. I swear you were wearing that jacket in the 70s.
Yeah, not far off. But you're looking expensive. Your haircut, the suit, the shoes, well heeled, I would say.
You have to go with the times, Roachy. Anyway, even in those days, I had a decent suit. Just as well, because if you hadn't borrowed it for your court appearance after the Southall riots, I doubt you would have got up that assault charge.
Even though it was the copper who assaulted me. What a stitch-up, literally. Yeah, but you were brilliant in court even then.
Been a long haul, Roachy. Union stuff never put much food on the table.
Yeah, you're right there. In my game, if you're not into celebrity gossip and opinion columns, you end up wearing jackets like this.
Well, didn't you win a prize last year for your coverage of Afghanistan? Good show, mate.
Good show. Funny expression, that. Good show. Like it's a game.
It is a game. You don't change, Roachy. Still angry. Still tilting at windmills. So do yourself a favour. Take some time out. Come over for supper one night. We can chew over old times. I'm sure Rosemary'd love to see you.
I think that'd be a good idea.
That's all in the past. Who was it said, the past is another country?
Foreign country.
Whatever. Anyway, Kev, couldn't we catch up later for a chat?
10 minutes, Guy. That's all I need.
Okay. I hope this is important, Roachy, because this is the biggest thing I've ever worked on. Between you and me, it's a done deal. Gashi will get acquitted. First, the lawyer's got some hoops to go through.
Another game. The hoops game.
Give me a break, Roachy. Man's innocent. It's just the Serbs wanting their pound of flesh. Gashi put on trial. Serbs save face, and then they can apply for EU membership. Simples.
So Gashi's innocent. There was no trafficking of body parts?
I can assure you, Roachy, he's a respectable politician. Democratically elected by Kosovans. There's nothing at all linking him to the harvesting of organs from Serb prisoners. In fact, if you go through the court proceedings, you'll see in the cells there's precious little evidence of organ harvesting ever happened at all. Prosecution does not have a single witness.
I suppose not, when the main witness disemboweled himself and nailed himself to his own barn door.
Hey, steady on. Keep your voice down, won't you? I'm not suggesting Gashi had anything to do with it, do you?
Perish the thought! But, maybe these will change your mind.
Where did you get these?
From someone who was there. Can't say any more, he's in enough danger already.
They're horrible. Who would take photos like that?
And who would do things like that? Did you take a look at this one?
We're not saying that's Gashi. That's absurd. It could be anyone.
Could be, but it isn't. You know it's him, Guy. See that farmhouse in the background? I've been there, Guy. I saw the bloodstains on the walls. I asked the people living there about them. They said it was animal blood. But I managed to scrape some off with my penknife while the interpreter was talking to them, and I got it analysed back here. It was human blood, Guy.
This is nothing new. Do you think the prosecution haven't already presented evidence with human blood stains? But it still doesn't prove anything. For God's sake, there's a war going on and blood gets spilt. A war crime is more than a bit of blood.
Yeah. But the prosecution hasn't seen this photo, which puts Gashi at the scene of the crime. Go on, take a closer look. You see his right hand? No index finger. Then look at the insignia on his jacket. The wolf's head with a star and a crescent. Gashi's personal insignia.
A photo, or even a whole set of photos, is not going to stand up in court. They could be fake.
But you know they're genuine.
Okay, let's even supposing they were real. What do you expect me to do about it? Throw in the towel? Say, okay, it's a fair cop, I'm defending a wrong one.
Could you carry on defending him knowing he's a war criminal?
On the basis of this, I don't know anything, Kev.
Now for Christ's sake, Guy! I thought you were a human rights lawyer, not a human wrongs. Do you really want to get a murdering gangster acquitted?
Now, hold on there, Kev. You want to be a bit more careful what you say. There was a bloody war going on. Surprise, surprise, bad things happen in wars.
You know damn well there's a difference between killing in the heat of battle and taking them prisoner, keeping them alive and removing their vital organs one by one to sell on the black market. And then when there's nothing left that can be sold, you chuck their carcasses into a hole in the ground.
There is more to stake here than, 20 people? Zuolati is going to bring peace to Kosovo.
What sort of peace can that be? You can't build a decent society on a stinking, rotten foundation of gangsters.
You haven't met him, Kevin. You'll see he's a civilized, educated man.
Oh, listen to yourself, Guy. If I had a picture of Adolf Hitler outside the gas chambers, you'd be telling me how he's great at cracking jokes and keeps a fine wine cellar. You know he's guilty, don't you?
Everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
I'll spare me that crap, Guy. Innocent because all the witnesses have been removed.
And NATO have decided he's their man. He'll keep the peace in a country that would otherwise tear itself apart.
So what you're saying is that it doesn't matter what happens at The Hague?
Oh, grow up, Kev. You're stuck in some kind of time warp. It's as though you haven't moved on since the sit-ins at uni. The fights with the National Front. No bloody navel-gazing of the 70s. This is realpolitik. Right, let me tell you how it works. NATO is behind Gashi. The EU is behind Gashi. We're all on the carousel, and a few photos are not going to make one iota of difference. Gashi is going to be acquitted.
And the Serbs, don't they matter at all in this?
The Serbs? Of course they don't matter. They lost the war, and unlike you, Kev, they know it. What do you think they're expecting in The Hague?
Justice?
Long time since I believed justice was produced by the laws and the court.
Jesus, God. After everything we stood for, were you only part of the struggle because it was the fashion at the time, like long hair and flares?
Well, maybe what we thought was important then is as dated as long hair and flares. Not to mention at least as ridiculous. Back in the 70s, we were naive, blundering fools, Kev. But we were young, so we could be forgiven for it. We're pushing 60 now, and or rather I, have outgrown it. Class war is officially over, and surprise, surprise, we can't change the world. It is what it is. You're either on that train or you'll be rolled over.
Oh, is that the gravy train you're talking about? And these? They really make no difference to you? How much are you selling your soul for, Guy? About £1,000 an hour? That's what you lot get, isn't it? Handsome price? Mass murderer goes free? You bring in some much-needed dosh into our ailing economy, you get the Queen's Award for export. Exporting corruption.
Oh, for Christ's sake, grow up, Kevin. Look at the state of you. You traipse around the world, pick out lost causes, hanging on to some misguided sense of integrity. Kevin Roach, the last man standing for the lost generation of crusaders.
Oh, is that it? If you're not a cynic, you're a crusader.
Oh, but you're the journalist, Kev. But then, you might win awards, but how many of our upright citizens actually read your worthy stories? Like you say, they're far too busy looking for the latest tidbits of celebrity gossip to give a damn about what's going on in places not covered in GSE geography.
Do you know, the comrades always used to say that you were a police informer in those days, Guy. Rosemary used to say that too. She said you were a stooge.
But in the end, she chose me, Kev. Not you. She chucked away her dungarees and Doc Martens and she chucked you too.
Sure she married you, Guy. But are you so sure she chucked me?
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, forget it. It's got nothing to do with this.
It has everything to do with this. I know about your sordid little rendezvous and your grubby little flat in Kilburn.
You knew?
I had her followed. When I found out it was you she was seeing, I knew it wouldn't go anywhere. She needs you to keep in touch with her past. Make her think she has a conscience.
It doesn't bother you?
Why should it? You're no more a threat to my marriage than you are to my career.
Well, I suppose there's nothing more to say. You'd better get into court, Guy.
What are you going to do with those? Hand them over to the prosecution? You'll be wasting your time, Kev. I tell you that now.
Maybe. But as you said, everything is a game. So I have to play mine.
Oh, get real. See what good it'll do. By the end of this month, Gashi will be back in Pristina, sitting at the top table negotiating some tasty new arms contracts with the great and the good.
And I suppose you'll be sitting next to him passing in the salt.
More than that, I'll be clinking champagne glasses with him and planning what to buy Rosemary with my bonus. When will it get into your thick skull that truth just doesn't pay? Publish those photographs in some rag if you want. Though I doubt any editor who values his job is going to touch him with a barge pole.
I'll just have to find that out for myself.
Or you could move on and cover a new story. Ukraine, Gaza. There are plenty of wrongs you can write out there.
Bear that in mind. Bye, Guy. Now, remember me to Rosemary.
Look after yourself, Kev. And watch your back. It's rough out there.
Exit Kevin. Guy calls over a thuggish-looking man, whispers something to him, and points towards Kevin's direction. Curtain. So I thought that was rather clever. We seem to have the whole history of the Serbian conflict in one template, as well as a lot of personal stuff going on between these two characters as well. All woven in rather expertly, I thought, so that you don't even notice that you're getting these great wads of backstory and information. And it always seems to have a sort of sense of forward momentum, even though a lot of it deals with the past, which I quite like. So that is our winner, A Foreign Country, written by